The point of this defense is to outspeed your opponent, take first turn, and kill off one of their units. Hi guys, and welcome back to another Summoners War video. Today I don't have a guild battle video, and instead I'm going to be talking about siege defense. So it is a defense that's been performing the best out of all my teams, and that team is my Khmun, Orion, and Yen. So if we look at our log, we see that our Khmun, Orion, and Yen has 22 wins and 11 losses. So I'm going to be talking about how this defense works and how we should build it, what the turn order should be, so on and so forth. So the first thing is that when you think about creating a defense, and I'm saying this because I'm in G1 and I see so many guild members spread out all their runes, right? Because obviously they don't have all super high quality runes. So they spread out all their runes to 30 units and try to make 10 teams. And I'm saying, do not do that, because you really should be making a few defenses if you don't have the runes to obviously rune all 30 to a certain point. You should only have a few defenses that are runed up with your best runes and try to get wins with those defenses, because really you don't want to be giving free wins to the opponents. That's it, you don't want to be giving free wins to your opponents where you can't get wins. So the first thing you have to think when creating a defense is it cleavable? And I'm going to only use two very common examples here, and this is because it's for a 4-star defense. Is it copper bulldozer? Is it cleavable by copper bulldozer, or is it cleavable by Lucians? So those are the two things. So when you look at this defense, first you know that you probably can't copper bulldozer this unless your Amasetti, right, the booster is on like 300 speed, because you're using a copper bulldozer without a speed lead. So it has to have over 300 speed to outspeed this Orion, and then your copper will need to kill off this Orion first turn. So obviously the chances of that is very low. So we can say that this team is not cleavable using copper bulldozer. Second, is it cleavable by Lucian? And no. Again, if you want to cleave it with Lucian, usually when you bring a Lucian cleave, you take Bernard lead, and you take a booster like Konamiya, and then you boost up the Lucian to go for the kill. But here, again, without a speed lead, your Bernard will have to be over 300 speed, like 310 to be safe, right? Because who knows, maybe the Orion's on 290 speed, right? So that won't work. If the opponent does have a speed lead, let's say a Galleon, but actually let's say Galleon, because the Galleon has the attack buff. So maybe you're just bringing in the speed lead, so the Bernard takes the first turn, and you want the Galleon to give the attack buff to the Lucian so that the Lucian will hit harder. That kind of makes sense, but again, if you do that, the chances of the Khmun surviving is very high, right? Because obviously Lucian is wind, Khmun is fire. So if the Khmun survives, and if that Khmun's on either despair, violent, something where there's an aspect of RNG, there is a chance that you will lose, unless your Galleon is like really beefed up on violent, right? Really beefed up violent, speed, crit damage, attack. Then I don't know. Then yeah, there's a chance of cleaning up. But really, people don't use their Galleons like that. And let's say even if they did, that's using one of their best speed boosters, right? So when we put up this defense again, they can't come in with that same booster. They need to now find another unit to answer this defense. So I think we could kind of safely say that this team is not cleavable. Obviously you can. I'm not saying it's impossible, but people usually won't bring a cleave into these kind of teams. Okay, so what kind of defense is this? First, you see that it has a speed lead and it has Orion. So you know that this is a speed defense. The point of this defense is to outspeed your opponent, take first turn, and kill off one of their units. That's it. if you kill off one of their units, the chances of you winning is very high. So, knowing that, how should you rune them? So Orion, which is probably the most important part of this team, should be on Swift, like what mine is on right now. Some people go with Despair, but that is only when you have a really fast Despair set, like 260, 270. But even that, you have to think that you're taking second turn, because obviously there are people that have very fast boosters that easily have over 280, 290 speed. However, I will say that the Despair Orion gets a lot more effective as soon as the opponents start losing options to outspeed, because now they'll have to bring in a tanky second turn kind of team, which is a lot more vulnerable to RNG. And Despair brings in another layer of RNG if Orion is on it. So the Despair Orion will definitely become more effective later on in the siege as soon as the opponent starts losing options. But if you want to actually like surprise them in the beginning, I think that Swift is the way to go, and Swift is easier to go, right? Because if you have plus 18 Swift set, then you could easily get 280 speed after they're grinded. Offset is usually like focused, like what I have, because you do want a good amount of accuracy, because landing your skill 3 defense break or stun is very crucial for your win. Defense break better, because you need your Yen to go right after your Orion. You don't want nothing cutting in. So there's that. Yen should be speed tuned to go right after your Orion. Just like I said, it can be on Fatal, it could be on Rage, it could be on Swift, but best set seems to be Vamp or Vio. Vio is the best because there's extra RNG for the kill, especially if you go first turn, right? While Vamp has a safety net. So in case the opponent outspeeds and your Yen gets targeted, the Revenge proc, obviously if your other subset is Revenge, allows your Yen to heal back some of the damage that is taken. I mean, even if it's not on Revenge, let's say your Yen survives the first round of damage that comes in, as soon as your Yen does damage, she heals back up. So that's the safety net there. Mine is on Vampire Revenge. The thing is that you can't just solely go for damage if you're building a Yen. Like I said, in case the opponent outspeeds, you want your Yen to be fairly tanky. So you can see mine, it has 13k HP and plus 400 defense with the speed. If the opponent does not have enough damage, then the chance of my Yen surviving is really high. Lastly, and some people might rate my Yen because it has 0% accuracy, but I do have skill to accuracy plus 60% on this artifact, so yeah, just letting you guys know. And finally, your Khmun can be on Swift, Despair, or Violent, or any of the 2 sets out there if you could get the stats. But Despair and Violent obviously brings in more RNG. Despair requires less stats because really you're using the RNG you're using for Despair is the stuns, right? That's why you're bringing a Despair Khmun. So you could kind of go a little less on the crit rate or crit damage. But if you go Violent, you want it to be on a crit damage build with good crit rate, because a Violent Khmun on crit damage is going to hurt, and it could definitely kill a unit. If you see mine is on Despair, is also on Revenge, and I think if you're going for Despair, Revenge is the better subset because obviously there's a chance of stunning the opponent with your Revenge procs. Khmun definitely could be one of the units that's left in your team in a 2v1 situation, but with the shield, and if they don't have like heal block or any CC like stuns, definitely the Khmun can come back from a 2v1 situation. That is that. Because this team is not cleavable by the common teams, again by Copper Bulldozer, the opponents would either need to outspeed or hope RNG will not wreck them when taking the second turn. In the end, people will have less options to outspeed, right? Because obviously there's so many Swift sets that you have that have over 290 speed or 280 speed. And then they'll have to start relying on RNG by taking in their second turn team. And I think that is how that these teams work. The more RNG they have, the higher chance of them winning. And in the end, if the opponent starts relying on RNG, then there's a greater chance that your defense will succeed. So that was it. That was a very short video regarding Khmun, Orion, and Yen. I hope that helped. Again, this is G1. Obviously, if you are in a higher ranked guild than me, if you are just higher rank in general, if you have higher rune quality, you could probably achieve a lot more. Yeah, you guys don't have to watch this video because you guys know what to do. But I hope for the people that are in lower guilds or that are in early game, they focus on building only a few number of teams that have your best runes on them, so that you could actually get wins. Because that's what's more important. It's not important to have all 10 teams laid out, because in the end your guildmates is going to choose which defenses they're gonna put in towers, and if they see that your defenses are getting 0 wins, they're just gonna ignore them. They're not gonna look at them. They're gonna choose other teams that has a chance to win, and you want that to be your team. So yeah, hope this helped. If it did, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll try to make more videos like this later on. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya. Bye.